Hey guys, how are we doing? Very well. In today's video I'm going to do the pros and cons of lower forearm tattoos. So I'm talking about this sort of section just here, just all around this bit. I was going to do a separate one for wrists, but like where's the cut-off line for a wrist? I don't know, I'm not a doctor. So it's for this bit here and then the inner bit just here. I have my fair share of lower forearm tattoos. I've been tattooed there couple of times, so I thought it would be time to do this video. If you've never seen this kind of video series before, I basically weigh out the pros and cons of getting a tattoo in a certain area of your body. So I've done one for back, inner bicep, fingers maybe, I don't know. I've done a few. I'll leave a link to the playlist down below. I've put it all into one playlist so you guys can watch them. So as always, I have my notes on my phone just in case like I forget something. I really think about it before I film these types of videos, so I've written down a list. Okay, so I'm going to start with the pros as always. I like to start off the video with a positive note so I don't scare you guys that are thinking about getting a forearm tattoo straight away. So as always, my first pro in every single video is that lower forearm tattoos suit everybody, like absolutely everybody. You can have very, very skinny arms, you can have really, really big arms, you can have muscly arms, you can have flabby arms, it don't matter. Forearm tattoos suit absolutely everybody. The next pro is if it's what you're going for, forearm tattoos make you look more tattooed, if that makes any sense, especially if you wear t-shirts all the time. So say if you got a tattoo up here, you wouldn't really see it that often, apart from like you can see my tattoos more because I'm wearing this weird ensemble. But for the most part, most people do not see the top of my arms because I'm always wearing like long sleeve t-shirts or just t-shirts in general. So the tattoos that people see the most on me are these tattoos here on my forearms. So if that's the kind of look you're going for, if you want to look more like a tattooed person, I definitely say forearms are a good place to start instead of going for like, I don't know, a chest piece or hand tattoos, which are always visible for the most part. I'd say forearm is the next step or the lower step to being more visible. You can always just like roll up your sleeves and there's tattoos there type thing, so they're always kind of on show, even if you don't mean them to be on show. Like you'll move your arm out or something and then your sleeve will just roll up a bit and you'll see the sort of ones on like your wrist area here. My perfume bottle is literally always on show, like always. It's hard to hide this one because it's quite low down. Even if I wear long sleeves, the sleeves sometimes, you know, go up or whatever and you'll see the bottom of it. So yeah, if you're looking to look a bit more tattooed without being very visibly tattooed, forearms are the way to go. It's so hard to do this, but the next pro is with your inner arm here. It's a very flat surface for the most part. I would say most people have sort of like a flat surface from your wrist going into your elbow crease, elbow ditch area. So that's a good place to get portrait tattoos on your arm. I feel like on the other side, so over on like this side here, this is a bit more wrappy. So putting a portrait here is kind of hard, but if you put a portrait on the inner of your forearm, you can get a lot more detail and it's not as wrappy. And yeah, I definitely think that's a good place to get a portrait tattoo on your arm. I've got, it's so hard to show you guys, but I've got a portrait here on my inner arm. It's like a ghosty lady. And yeah, she sits quite flat on my arm and it's great. Her face isn't warped or anything like that. So they're good. So the inner forearm is a good place to get tattooed. The other side not so much, but I'll get on to that in a moment. Forearm tattoos for the most part are pretty painless, I would say, especially on this sort of side here. So the more fleshy side, the more tough skin side. The inner arm though, not so much. It's very, very stingy because your skin is a lot more thinner here, especially around the wrist area and leading into the elbow ditch area around about this part here. Oh, it's spicy. It's very spicy there, but is it excruciating pain? Absolutely not. I would recommend getting tattooed here or on your forearm as like a first tattoo type thing, compared to like a back or a hand or fingers, where for me personally that's like uber painful. But I would definitely say sort of forearm, inner arm, lower arm area isn't that painful, apart from on the thin skin and near your elbow area. That's where it gets spicy. The next and last pro is that forearm tattoos are super easy to heal, like unbelievably easy to heal, because you've got easy access of them. Like you've got this hand here free to, you know, touch. So even if you use like Sanaderm or your traditional healing method, which is with like an ointment and cling film, it's just super easy to heal. And your forearms don't really touch anything, so they're not rubbing on anything. It's not like an inner bicep tattoo that is constantly rubbing on your ribs and stuff. Like, this is a free agent, like there's nothing rubbing on it, apart from clothes maybe, but you can protect that with cling film or Sanaderm. And yeah, they're super easy to heal, I would say anyway, compared to like a back, which is just like oh my god, don't even get me started. Okay, so on to the cons now. The first one, and I feel like this is literally the ultimate con of any tattoo placement ever, like ever. This is probably the worst part about being tattooed, I would say. Forearm tattoos on this sort of side here with the tough skin, like I was saying before, is super wrappy. It's hard to get a design to look right, if that makes any sense. Like, once it's done it looks okay and stuff, but with the wrapping you cannot see the full design. So say if you've got a tattoo on your thigh where you can see everything, or on your back where it's a flat surface, with a forearm tattoo it's super wrappy. Like, you cannot see a complete tattoo with my arm like this. Maybe the pumpkin, but again, that's still wrapping over to here and it's wrapping over to there. It's so hard to get a complete tattoo flat on your arm unless you have tiny little ones, which just is never gonna happen, is it? So yeah, that is a big downside for me, because I don't know, I just want to see my tattoos look complete. Does that make sense? Like, they are complete, but it just wraps around. It's kind of annoying. It's really annoying when someone wants to look at the tattoos as well and you have to sort of move your arm around and twist, and yeah, it gets annoying. And especially if you want to take pictures as well, you cannot get a complete picture. That's why you always see on Instagram a tattoo artist saying, well, here's the tattoo, it's very wrappy, you can't see the whole thing. It's just frustrating for everyone involved, but there's nothing you can do about it. Like, there's literally nothing you can do about it. But it's just one of those annoyances, and that's why I put it in the con. It's just like, you don't even think about it, to be honest. I don't sit in my bed and think about it daily, like, oh my god, why is my tattoo so wrappy? It's not an issue, but it can be frustrating at certain points. So like I was saying, for the pros, forearm tattoos can be very visible if you want them to be, but this can also be a con, especially if you're trying to hide them from someone, or your job doesn't allow you to have visible tattoos. So say it's a hot day and you're dying to roll up your sleeves, but you have like tattoos on your arms and stuff, you can't. So I would say that is a con for a few people. It's not a con for me because my job allows me to have tattoos and stuff. But yeah, if you're hiding your tattoos from someone and you have one on the forearm, it's kind of like, oh dear. And even if you're very conscious about it, you can just stretch your arm out. Your sleeve's going to come up, maybe, possibly, and people are going to see the tattoos, so that's one to be mindful of. So if you have like a tattoo on your upper arm, it's a lot easier to hide them. With forearm tattoos, it's kind of hard to hide them. But yeah, you can wear long sleeves, but if it gets hot, you're just like melting. So yeah, that's one to think about. So the next one I actually spoke about in my pros and cons of lower leg tattoos, I believe, where I said the next morning after you get the tattoo, when I stand up, I feel my blood rushing in my leg type thing. So you've been laying down for a very long time and then you stand up and then you're like, holy fucking cow, and your leg is in humongous pain, right? It's the same for me for lower arm tattoos, forearm tattoos. So say you've been laying down for a very long time and then you get up and then you put your arms down and then gravity takes over. I have the most incredible pain in my arm. It's unbelievable. It's not fun, and it's the same when I'm washing my hair. So say your arms have been down for a very long time and then you go to wash your hair in the shower, you put your arms up, and then all of a sudden all the blood rushing down, you can feel it. It's so painful. And I know that sounds pathetic, but honestly, like I was saying in my lower leg tattoo video when I talked about this issue, I swear the couple of days after getting a tattoo is so much worse than actually getting the tattoo itself. I don't know, I'm backwards, I don't find getting tattooed that painful, but the couple of days after I'm like, fuck my life, why do I do this to myself? So that's one to look out for. I know quite a few people don't get it, a lot of people do get it. It depends, case by case situation. So if you've never had a tattoo on your lower leg or on your forearm or something, you've never experienced it before, you obviously don't know what I'm talking about. But there might be a few people out there that know what I'm talking about. But it's definitely a con for me. I never look forward to it. Luckily, I think I'm almost done with my lower arm tattoos, I would say. I've got a few gaps here and there, so I may have to go through it again. But yeah, it's not fun. The next one and the last con for me, and this again is a kind of personal one, on thin skinned area, so say the inner forearm here, I scab up more than I do anywhere else on my body. So anytime I get a thin skinned area tattooed, I just get extra scabby and I have no idea why. It just happens. it's kind of gross. Like my scabs will get like thick, like disgustingly thick, and I don't know why. It's just like crazy. Like if I got, like when I get tattooed on like this area here, it's fine, normal, you know, thin scabs that you would normally get. But if I get tattooed in my inner arm or in a bicep or wherever that's, you know, thin skin, it's just like a mountain of scabs. It's disgusting. And again, this may just be me personally, but let me know if you guys go through this too. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. It's really weird. And I just feel disgusting, honestly. But that again may be a personal one. Let me know if you guys go through that. But yeah, it's one of those vanity things. You're looking at your arm, you're a scaly, scabby mess with scabs like 3 inches thick. It's a bit exaggerated, but it's just like, I don't want this. This isn't right. So yeah, that was my pros and cons of forearm tattoos. Let me know down below what your pros and cons are if you have a forearm tattoo. We can discuss and go through our experiences, and you may help someone else also. So again, if you haven't got a forearm tattoo, or you're going to get a bigger forearm tattoo, like you're going to get a big piece and you only have little ones, look down in the comments down below. There's always a lot of useful information in the comments section where people talk about their experiences, so do check them out as well, because obviously I can only talk from one point of view, but if you get more points of view, it honestly helps so much. Like, it does help. I've read a lot of interesting things in my comment sections of these types of videos. I just learned so much, so look at those as well if you're still feeling a bit uneasy or you're not sure. So yeah, that's everything for this video. Hope you guys are all doing very well, and until my next video, bye.